Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Fall 2019 Box Office Predictions. It's Adam Malik here and Aaron. And originally this weekend, a little movie called The Hunt was supposed to come out. If you don't know what The Hunt is, well, it was a thriller with some very, very, very unsubtle political messaging. Heck, the movie was supposed to be called Red State versus Blue State. How unsubtle can you get, honestly? But due to extreme levels of controversy, it got canceled. So instead, I have to talk about Abominable, which is comparatively less exciting. But I still gotta discuss it. So Abominable. We're gonna talk about its pros and cons. So let's get to it. Pros. It is literally the only family-friendly film in the market. The last family-friendly film to come out was Angry Birds 2, and that came out a month and a half ago? And that movie straight up tanked. So that's not going to be an issue. And then there's, Lion King, which pretty much dominated, the family-friendly market for a long time. But it's pretty much wrapped up its run by now, so that's not going to be an issue either. And also, Abominable is the only movie coming out this weekend. So it pretty much has the entire market to itself. So if it fails, it's not the market's fault, it's the movie's fault. So that's the first pro. Second pro, DreamWorks. Sure, they've had some rough times, and I'm going to go over that in the cons, but they're still a very recognizable name. They have a lot of hits under their belt, like Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, B-Movie. They have a lot. So people know who they are. They're a very recognizable brand. So that's another pro. Third pro, due to the cast being Mandarin, DreamWorks wants that China money. That's why they made the movie the way it is, with the characters, the setting, everything. And because of that, it's a decent chance they're gonna get a decent amount of money from China. So that's a good thing for them. And the final pro, this movie is comparatively cheap compared to many DreamWorks movies. Only $75 million. So even if this movie underwhelms, it's not going to lose that much money. But cons. DreamWorks. Sure, they had Shrek. Sure, they had How to Train Your Dragon and Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, etc. But over the past few years, it's been going quite bad. And let me show you. So, post Shrek, and ignoring movies like Spirit and Sinbad and Wallace and Gromit and Flushed Away, every single one of their movies, besides the three I mentioned, all opened above 30 million. And some of them even doubled that amount. Heck, the Shrek movies are the only ones they had where they opened over 100 million. So they were doing fantastic during this period. And they were on a real hot streak until Rise of the Guardians happened. And I know Rise of the Guardians is loved by many, has a strong online fandom, but let's be real. Rise of the Guardians was a flop. And that flop, and because of that flop, it led to a very dark path for DreamWorks. Sure, they had the Croods, which did very good, but they had Turbo, which was another flop. Then they had Mr. Peabody and Sherman, which was another flop. Then they had How to Train Your Dragon 2, which, although it was successful, it failed to live up to many people's expectations because a lot of people thought it would do much better because the first one was so good. So that's definitely not good. And then Penguins of Madagascar. That was almost the breaking point for DreamWorks. They were in serious trouble. I mean, they lost $57 million each on Penguins of Madagascar and Mr. Peabody and Sherman. So they were doing very bad. But then Home happened, and that did okay. Kung Fu Panda 3 did alright. Trolls did okay, and that's actually getting a sequel next year. Boss Baby did really good, and that's getting a sequel 2 years from now. And then their last movie, besides all these flops, or at least the majority, came under when they were with Fox. So, yeah. Their last movie with Fox was Captain Underpants, and that only did modest. And they took like a 2-year break. And then they went to Universal, and then they recently had How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, which, although not as successful as the other How to Train Your Dragon movies, it still did pretty good for them. It did way better than some other animated sequels this year. Looking at you, Lego Movie 2, Secret Life of Pets 2, and Angry Birds 2. But still, their track record's been very iffy these past few years. And there's a chance that this can fall into bomb territory. Because, and there's another con, there's just not much interest in this movie. Maybe it's because everyone's focusing on Joker coming out next weekend. That's going to be the big movie. Maybe it's that. Or it's just, I don't know, families are just waiting to see Frozen 2. Probably. But, yeah, just not much interest, not much attention for this movie. And, yeah, that's a very bad problem. And yeah, so opening weekend, originally, I was gonna say, it's gonna open to a film that literally came out last year, which was also about Yeti, or Abominable type figure, a Smallfoot, there it is, Smallfoot, which opened around 23 million. So the fact that these two movies are kind of similar, I mean, is this another Ants Bugs Life situation? I'm just kidding. It's not. They have completely different plots, so they're not copying off each other. But still, it's interesting. Originally, I thought it was going to open on par with that, but due to this severe lack of interest, I think it's going to open lower than 20 million. So probably 18 to 20 million, which is weak. Very weak for DreamWorks standards. But due to the low cost and, the China money, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not going to be a bomb by any means. I mean, it could disappoint, but it's not going to outright fail. And it will win the weekend because it's literally the only movie coming out. So at least there's that. So yeah, 18 million total. Overall total, probably 60 million, 70 million, something like that if it has really long legs. That's what I think. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Abominable. Next up, the movie everyone is going to talk about. I just know the fact everyone's talking about it right now, and that's Joker. And I predict right now that Joker will have the biggest opening weekend in October history, beating Venom. I'm saying that now. But we're going to go into more detail about Joker, when I make that video. So, yeah. That's all for this video. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. Want to go check out some of my other predictions. I have my fall 2019 predictions. I have a whole playlist of those. And I have my past summer predictions, the blockbusters and the not blockbusters, put them in 2 separate playlists. And I've uploaded the 2 parts to my summer 2019 box office recap. I still have to film part 3 because that's going to be the longest, because it's going to be all about flops. And there were a lot of flops in summer 2019. A lot. But that video will come up very soon. And then, soon I have to do a September recap. And then I'll pretty much be where I need to be in terms of videos. So yeah, that is all. And I am out.